Hello, this is Jess. Excuse me, and this is chat session number 153. It's April 2nd, 2018, Monday evening, about 11:30 p.m. And got off work around 8, so I went to work at 7 and got off at 8. So I had a long day, but getting ready to go in there and get to sleep so I can do it all over again tomorrow. Feeling pretty good about it. Health-wise, I'm alright. Not having no issues. My legs swelling a little bit, but that's just because I'm standing all day. Something I'm going to have to probably deal with the rest of my life, but that's the way it is. Couldn't ask for, that's the least, if that's all that I got to deal with after what could have happened, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So anyway, this is going to be the tidbits of history for this chat session. 2005, Pope John Paul II, he passed away. He was the first non-Italian to take the Pope position since the 16th century. It was said to have been the biggest funeral in history, with 2 million plus people in the Vatican. He was born in 1920. In 1941, his whole family was killed, I guess, with all the stuff that was going on over there in Europe at the time, the war and all. He survived and became an ordained priest in 1946. He was chosen first ever Slavic Pope at age 58. He was the youngest to be chosen in 132 years. He spoke a lot of languages, traveled around a lot, and tried to talk to non-Catholics as well as Catholics, and tried to spread Catholicism, of course. And he was actually shot once, and the big deal was he went to the prison where the guy was in prison after he got out of the hospital, and he went and forgave him for what he did. The guy was, of course, a life sentence in prison. There was another attempt on his life, but it was unsuccessful. The Vatican never confirmed it, but they said at the end he was probably suffering from some pretty serious issues like Parkinson's disease, some other stuff. But anyway, that's the tidbits of history for this day. Now we're going to go into the bands that begin with the letter Y. I don't have a whole lot, but off the top of my head, this is what I have. I have Y&T, Yngwie Malmsteen, Yes, Yanni, and Yoko Ono. I'm drawing a blank. I know there's a lot of them out there with the Y. But those are the ones that I guess have an impression on me. I heard Yngwie tonight. I heard Yes tonight on my Spotify musical journey number 5. At work, I listened pretty much from 12 o'clock till 8. With a couple of phone charge breaks in there, thrown in there for 30 minutes. So I probably had about 6 solid hours of music of all kinds. And like I said, I heard quite a few Yngwies. There was some country stuff. There was some blues, classical music. It was a pretty good session for me at work. I probably cut about 9,300 feet or so for the day, which is, with the way the system is right now, that's getting it. So, it can always be better, but we're trying all this new technology. They finally making us use all the stuff they've installed in there. They spent millions of dollars on upgrades, and we're finally starting to use some of the conveyor belts that they have installed for different wood to go certain places, instead of touching it by hand and carrying it over, it just goes to certain places now straight from me. So it's interesting, but right now it's clogging up. There's a lot of kinks, but I think that I've got to learn how to send this stuff on a more on a pattern, because I'm used to sending it down the thing and then it gets thrown off. These guys get it and load it on cars. Well, now they're wanting it to go directly to the next station or directly to a machine that puts added features onto it after I cut it. So it's all in use. This is probably my third or fourth day to use this system, and today went okay. There was a couple of backups, but I'm still tweaking myself out on how to do this and send certain things, try to get it coordinated with all the electronic stuff that's going on, all the paddles that push it here and push it there and get it down to there and all that stuff. But it'll come. Hopefully a pay raise will come too from having to deal with all this mess. But we'll see. That's a whole nother story. Work is work, so we won't talk about it anymore. But anyway, Y&T, Yngwie Malmsteen, yes. Yanni and Yoko Ono, you gave me the X bands. Let's see what Y bands I couldn't conjure up at this time, but I'm sure you'll have a few for me, and I appreciate Scott. He pushed in some W bands that I didn't have, and I thought of one that I haven't seen anybody put down. That's Winger, for a W. That's crazy. Some of these bands just, I've heard them all, but they just come to me at different times. Of course now we're on Y, so that's just the way that is. I've been talking about the hatred that's seems to be enveloping every area of the earth, and instead of harping on the hatred, I think I'm going to start trying to change that around and say that kindness can battle hatred. So let's start thinking about others and being kind, and seeing somebody in need, taking the few minutes of our life to step out and help somebody in need. It's just a way of life. It's a way of doing something. It's a way of, just like hatred is a way of doing something. Well, kindness can also be that same thing. And just imagine if millions of people just reverted that hatred into kindness. Probably wouldn't be having this discussion anymore. We would be so advanced in different things that we're stalled in right now, because that's what hatred does. It stalls everything. Progression. Shows the ugly side of humanity. Everybody has it. Everybody can use it. Everybody can choose not to use it. But that's where we are with that. But there's some positive stuff, going on. The next step in my evolution of things is, for me, the growth. Again, 153 days without missing a day on these chat sessions, getting them in before midnight every day. Through all the stuff that's been going on with the surgeries and the different diagnoses and the different stuff they gave me medically and the different things, I managed to pull this off every day. So that's an achievement for me. I think that's a good thing, something that I said I was going to do, and I stuck with it. But there's an evolution coming, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Google. All those things. So, like to see a few people come on. That's fine. It'd be nice. See a few new faces, a few new things for me to look at as well. From what you might have going on. But anyway, we're pushing the 10-minute mark. That's about how long I would prefer to do this so it's not boring and monotonous, and I repeat myself and things like that. So this is Jess again, chat session number 153. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? I already mentioned my son Scott. Like I said, hey Alex, Israel, and my daughter Erica, Roxy, Aiden, Anita. Love you guys. Like I said, I already mentioned Scott. So, and Lauren. I'm not forgetting you, Lauren. And anyway, Scott's heading back to Puerto Rico to go back to work on the power lines. Hope everything works out fine. A safe trip back. He's been back here in San Antonio for a while. So now he's heading back out. I guess he's leaving tomorrow or the next day. Be safe, son. Have a great Monday evening. Bye.